Welcome back to the At Home with Roby show. I'm Ashley Davis, and along with Trent Haston from the Roby family of companies, we're your hosts. Visit us today at andrewroby.com, or you can find us on the WBT.com homepage. So, Trent, before the break, we talked a lot about the fact you're on vacation. You're not here. I'm in the studio by myself with some guys. A little weird not having you here, but you're out in Illinois. We're going to shift gears now. You're on vacation. We're going to talk about taking that extra space in your home and making it a cool home staycation. And we're joined in the studio by Cam Montgomery. Cam's one of the project managers at the Andrew Roby Company. Cam, welcome, buddy.
Ashley, thank you for having us. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So,
hey, Cam, how you doing, man?
How you doing, Trent?
A valued member of the Roby family of companies. Cam, you're out in the field every day. You're working with clients. You're that main point of contact. Mm-hmm. What are you seeing that people are doing out there right now in terms of taking that extra space and making it something fun that they can do indoors?
Really, what a lot of people I see are going to is they're where a few years back they were kind of jumping from house to house, moving up, and now we're starting to see a trend where they're investing in their existing home. They're putting money back into their basements. Basements are really becoming kind of a full entertaining area with a lounge, maybe a theater room or a shoe room, a little kitchenette. It's really an extension of their house where their kids can go. They can go on the weekends, and they can just get away from everything because you've got your formal living rooms or dining rooms, everything upstairs. And so we're really seeing just kind of a trend of moving kind of a little bit outside, but then also kind of moving around outside of the home to really tie it all together and find an entertaining space that they can hang out. So
fantastic. Trent, you're seeing that too, buddy, right? When you're talking to clients about things they want to do, whether they're renovating that house or they're building it, they're building all that into the floor plans.
Yeah, it's a good use of, he said basements. It's a good use of space. You know, I call it cheap dollar per square foot space. Basements, attics, the second floor over garages and stuff like that. You get a workstation play area for the kids. You can kind of get real creative where you can even do it for the grown-up kids. So it's fun to do spaces like that because you want usable spaces for our clients and their families.
Absolutely. And so Cam, back to let's talk about the process a little bit, because if it's in the basement, it's a little easier maybe if you're going to build out that space while people are living there. But sometimes people are hesitant to kind of go into a project like that with a company like ours. You know, they're going to renovate their home. They need a lot of trust. What's your process when you're working with a homeowner to make sure that you impact their lives as little as possible?
I say really we do a lot of work on the front end. When we get those calls that come in and say, hey, I want to do something, I want to start tomorrow, it's really not going to be a good fit because we are going to be in their home. We're going to be in and out of their house every day, and no matter if we tell them it's going to take a week or 3 months, you get to that point where you're kind of, you're in your house, you're in their space. So it's really important on the front end to do as much work as you can, do all the planning, make it the selections, get the designer, the architect involved so we know what we're getting into, and then we can set their expectations with what project we're doing. So we can tell them, hey, it's going to be 3 months, 1 week, and these 2 weeks out of the whole project, you're not going to want to be here at all.
Right.
And that way they can leave and they can go on vacation because this is the summer and people want to get out because it is easier on everybody when the homeowner's not living in their house, just because we're able to kind of do our work. We can come in earlier, stay later, and get it all done.
Right.
So we send them on a vacation, come back to a staycation.
Yes. And we're the Roby family of companies, and we really are like family because it's nice when they're there for the first 3 days, but after that, you're kind of like, when are you going to get out of my house?
Absolutely. Some of our guys, they'll sit there and they'll walk their dog around because we're part of the family.
Right.
We go in there and we pride ourselves on being somebody that's going to take care of their family because that's what we would want. If somebody's going to come into my house, I want to trust them. I want to know that my kids can hang out with them.
Absolutely. And Trent, that's the philosophy your grandfather and your dad had before you, and that's what you and Travis really work for when you're putting together a team and you're bringing on people like Cam to be a part of the Roby family of companies.
Walk dog, take out trash, bring the newspaper from the sidewalk to your hand. That's what we do.
Get it all done. Be part of the family.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, Cam, you mentioned something a minute ago, and I want to make sure everybody understands what you mean by shoe room. Because you say shoe room, I think people conjure up one image, but you're talking about something a little different.
So what we've got going on, there's one project that I'm working on with one of our designers, Lauren Clement, and what they've got is there's a basketball player. He's coming back from Europe, and he really wants a staycation in his home. He's bringing his family back here to live, and so what we're doing is we're doing a theater room, a lounge area, and a shoe room. And this shoe room is really, I mean, that's his pride and joy. I mean, he's walking in there. We've got ceiling to floor, shelving put in, and it's all for his shoes, his watches, everything that he's acquired over the years playing basketball.
Right.
And really, I mean, it takes him back through those years. If he's been playing for 7 years overseas and then 4 years in college, I mean, he's got 11 years of his life, and a lot of it, I mean, it can be said by what shoes he was wearing. So,
and he's tired of traveling, and he wants to make that home his his refuge.
Absolutely,
so
he's ready to settle down, and I was just glad that he decided to work with us.
That's great. Folks, you're listening to the At Home with Roby show. I'm Ashley Davis along with Trent Haston. We have Senior Project Manager Cam Montgomery with us. We're talking about staycations, how to make your home a place you want to beat the heat and stay in. That way you have some fun. Maybe it's a basement room. Maybe it's a shoe room like Cam's talking about. A lot of things out there, Cam, Trent. And so, Trent, we talked off the show. We're gonna talk a little bit more later about how to decorate these spaces, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot of ways that the Andrew Roby Company can help people really figure out what's the best. And Cam, you use the term investing in your home. That's what we do. We help people figure out what's the best way to make the most out of their home and to make it the most enjoyable.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I say investing in your home, that's really just taking the time to put money back into your space. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the architect, we're going to bring in the designer so we can get the best bang for the buck. And we're going to bring in somebody like you, Ash, who can tell us, hey, if we do this work and they stay there for 10 years, are they going to get the return on it after the fact, or is this just for them? So that goes back to part of the planning on the front end to make sure that we're doing everything.
Yeah, that's the business model you've kind of laid out, Trent, for how you're going to. It's a partnership with that client in terms of what's the best thing for their family.
And right, and both of those answers, Cam, what you just said, work. It depends on what your goals are. I mean, hey, we're going to have this for 10 years, and we're going to spend 30% of our time as a family in this room, or I'm going to have my friends over, my lady friends, if you're a woman or what have you, in this space, doing things that we love doing. There's a humongous dollar value to that. And then also, some people are just looking at the mere investment or a combination of the two. So
that's a great point, Trent. And a lot of these projects, Cam, people can go to andrewroby.com. We've got a portfolio there. Mm-hmm. They can look at some of these things. They can do their home, see examples. They can get in touch with our team, talk to you. And it's what I like about these types of projects is we have the expertise, we have the team, we have the connections to those third parties. Like mm-hmm. Lauren, you mentioned Lauren, she's going to be on in just a minute. We have those relationships to where we can bring that whole team together. And Trent's talked about this in the past. That triangle, right, when you talk about that design team, and that's what makes it easy for the client.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got the architect and the designer, you've got the homeowner, and you've got us really kind of, and it's my job to bring in those experts and to make sure that we've got the right people in place to do the job.
Right.
I don't consider myself an expert on anything other than bringing those experts together and knowing people and understanding what they're looking for.
You the coach, right?
Yes, absolutely.
There you go.
What was that Jim Phelps said a couple weeks ago? Team. Together, everyone achieves more. Yeah.
I mean, you remembered it from high school basketball.
I did.
Right?
I did. Yeah.
What was JV?
Coach McLeod, my friend. Coach McLeod.
I was the best player on the 9th grade team. Third best.
When you were in 11th grade, right?
Yeah, exactly. Cowboy.
Oh man. So Trent, what's interesting about this? We talked about a couple different types of projects. Just real quick. We can help anybody with really anything, whether it's a small project all the way up to a complete renovation of a basement, and we do it with the same level of service and quality, regardless of the scope of the project.
Right. And I tell you what I like to see a lot now is artistic wives that like to have art rooms. Kind of, I mean, everybody thinks about kids, but yeah, I mean. And sometimes it can just be an empty box that they can spread paint on the walls. We can help with that. And then sometimes you can take it to all different levels with technology, with decorations, with really nice stuff, with nice molding. So the spectrum is unlimited. So it's fun to do these spaces, and they're enjoyable to do.
It is fun. It's fun for us. It's fun for the homeowner. Cam, thanks for being here, buddy. If people want to learn more about these projects that you do and the whole team at Andrew Roby does, they can go to andrewroby.com, learn more about that. Trent, you mentioned the word technology, and when we come back, we're going to talk about how do we take these spaces and make them a little more technological, so to speak. And we're going to have the folks from Home Technology Solutions here to talk about creating that perfect room, whether it's a theater room, a game room. So they'll join us after the break. When we come back, you're listening to the At Home with Roby show. Visit us today at andrewroby.com.